Hello children, welcome back to your English class. I think you all are curious to know about the further happenings in the lesson after watching your previous video clipping. Before getting into our today's class, let's have a quick glance at what we had discussed so far. We had discussed about the king of Travancore, feast hosted by him, the king entering into the kitchen to survey the preparations made. When he had walked into the kitchen, he had found a basket filled with vegetable scraps. The clarifications he had demanded from the cook. We have also discussed about the reply given by the cook, the words which made the king upset, the stern step taken by the king which made the cook to rethink or think back about those vegetable scraps, and a fabulous idea that struck the mind of the cook on how to reuse those scraps. To begin with our today's session, let's get back to our textbook. He took all the vegetable bits, washed them and cleaned them well. As the cook was compelled or forced by the king not to waste such a huge quantity of vegetable scraps, the cook had to think for an alternative use of those scraps. As a result of his alternative idea to reuse it, he takes all those bits and pieces of veggies, washes them and cleaned them well so that he can reuse them in his dishes which was being prepared to serve in the feast. How did he use those vegetable scraps? What was he up to? Let's know more about it by going back to our textbook. Then he cut them into long strips. He put them in a huge pot and placed it on the fire to cook. By executing his ideas, the cook cuts those clean bits of veggies into long strips. Strip means a long, narrow piece of a material. After cutting those scraps into thin slices and strips, he puts them in a huge pot. Huge means big or very large. As the feast was for many people, large quantity of dishes was prepared. After putting them into the pot, he kept that pot on fire so that he can cook it as early as possible before he gets too late for the feast. What the cook wanted to prepare from those scraps? How did he try to transform those scraps into a delicious dish? Come, let's get back to our textbook to learn about his further actions. Next, he ground some fresh coconut, green chilies and garlic together. He added this paste and some salt to the cooking vegetable. So, this was all about his preparations. Here, ground means to grind. The cook grinds the right proportion of fresh coconut, green chilies, garlic and salt. Makes a fine paste of it and puts it into the cooking veggies. Wait a minute. These are the few ingredients what we use while making chutneys at home, isn't it? Then, is the cook planning to prepare a vegetable chutney? Have you ever tried a vegetable chutney? Let's check what did the cook prepare by looking into our textbook, okay? A tempting smell started coming from the pot. Now he whipped some curd and added it to the curry. He also poured a few spoonsful of coconut oil and decorated the dish with curry leaves. Lo and behold, the new dish was ready. When the cook added the paste of coconut, green chilies and garlic to the boiling pot of veggies, a tempting smell. Tempting, present participle of the word tempt. Tempt means a strong feeling to do something. When the aroma or smell covered the whole kitchen, now the cook whips some curd. Whip means to stir or beat. He added the whipped curd to the curry. So, the king's plan was to prepare a curry from those vegetable scraps. He also poured a few spoonsful of coconut oil to enhance the aroma of his curry. He garnished or decorates his dish with curry leaves. Lo and behold means, look, what a surprise! For everybody's surprise, the new dish was ready to be served in the feast. By using very less time, the cook had come up with an idea to prepare a curry which was never tried so far in the past. The dish was ready to serve. What happens next? Come, let's have a glance at our textbook. Everybody was eager to know the name of the new dish. The cook thought and thought. Then a name came to his mind. He named it Aviyal. Aviyal became famous all over Kerala and is now one of the dishes in a traditional Kerala feast. And imagine, it all came from a basket of waste. I think even we do the same thing. Whenever we see any new sweets or dishes, we will be eager or curious to know its name. Same was with the guests. As the guests had never heard or tasted such a dish earlier, they were waiting to know the name of that new dish which was prepared by the cook. The cook thought and thought, the past tense of think. The cook thinks, what should he name his new dish? Finally, he comes up with a beautiful name, Aviyal. Aviyal, a name in Malayalam which means a thick mixture of 13 vegetables seasoned with coconut oil and curry leaves. Aviyal is served even today and is considered as an essential part of the main meal during their traditional feasts. Just imagine, children, this aviyal has come from a basket of waste. By this lesson, one can learn how even the waste things can be transformed into useful things. We have to be judicious while handling our natural resources. We shouldn't waste our food. It takes a lot of hard work for the farmers to grow the food what we eat. As the proverb goes, Kumbaranige Varusha, Donnege Nimisha, a potter takes years together to prepare pots. But the stick can break all those pots within no time. Same way, by wasting our food, indeed, we are wasting the sweat and hard work of our farmers. So, children, promise yourselves that you will never waste food from today onwards. You will empty your plates in your every meal. I hope you all have enjoyed this lesson and keep up your promise of not wasting your food. Let's meet in our next video to learn a new chapter. Thank you, children. Take care. Stay home, stay safe.